So I do travel writing mostly. I got a book here called Broke-Ass Stuart's Guide to Living Cheaply in San Francisco. I got one from New York, and as he said, a website as well. So I'm gonna read to you first the intro to my New York book. And so there's a mention of San Francisco in here, so I imagine most of you live in San Francisco, so when you hear it, give San Francisco some love, all right? All right. I'm sitting now in my Bushwick apartment, coming to terms with the realization that my time here in this strange and brutal city is quickly coming to an end. I maintain that no matter how much you love New York, this city fucking hates you. Don't take it personally. This bitch is just badder than you are. Her game is tighter, her mind is quicker, her swagger is more believable. She's not the one who got away, she's the one you never had a chance of getting. And this is what makes just being near here so exhilarating. There's a quote from Thomas Wolfe that goes something like, "One belongs to New York instantly. One belongs to it as much in 5 minutes as in 5 years." And I think old Mr. Wolfe was onto something. New York will never be yours. You will always be hers. She's got you pussy whipped and you fucking know it. But I'm leaving. 2.5 weeks and I'll be gone. I'm filling my days and notebooks, wandering these streets, getting to know them as well as one gets to know a friend with benefits who lives in a different town. I'm learning and admiring the creases, cracks, and character of these thoroughfares, but I'll never know what it's like to be with them forever. This has just been an affair, and I'm heading home to my wife in California, San Francisco. The one who takes the love I give and repays it back in spades.
That's right.
Right? But I'm gonna miss New York. It's quite possibly the best city in the world. I'm gonna miss the electric fervor of summertime rooftops and the girls who are next to nothing on the humid and fetid subway. I'm gonna miss the snow that sneaks in while I'm dreaming and piles itself up on the cars while they sleep in the street. I'll miss the little badge of pride that goes with saying that I live in Brooklyn, not Manhattan. I'll miss all the beautiful people who have nothing to say and all the ugly ones who say too much. Anything you could ever want is here, and as long as you're willing to work for it and know where to look. Magic happens on a daily basis, and the hard part is finding the time to take it all in. Thank you, New York. You've been a sweet and charming mistress who deals out pleasure and pain equally, the way a blackjack dealer can just as easily give you 21 or make you bust. I'll be back, probably sooner than you'd like. But this is it for us, kiddo. This affair is over. I want to ask you to never change, to stay just the way you are, so that when I do come back, you'll be just as you are now. But you and I both know you can't exactly make that happen. At least I'll have my book, which will let me pin you down to exactly who you were to me for the past 10 months. Just do me one favor after I leave. Tell all the developers they can suck my dick. So that was an introduction to the book. And so the books I do are like, it's somewhere between Lonely Planet and Vice magazine. You know, it's like shit talking and information. So I'll give you a couple little things here from San Francisco and little things from New York. This is a little place not far from here. It's called El Cantinilla. By the way, you guys ever been to SeaWorld before? Yeah. So I apologize, but you guys are in the splash zone. I might spit on you, I'm sorry. El Cantinilla. It's a little taco shop down that way. If I were to guess what El Cantinilla translates to in English, it would be not fucking around. I know that's not the literal translation at all, but seriously, this place makes all the other taquerias in the Mission look like total pussies. Sure, I've seen other taquerias that sell tacos with cabeza, which is head fat, tripas, intestines, lengua, tongue, and even sesos, which is brains. But El Cantinilla one-ups them all, selling fucking ojos. Bullseyes. If this were a prison movie, none of the other taquerias would mess with El Cantinilla. Because they'd be like, see that guy over there? That dude's goddamn crazy. I ain't messing with him. On a slightly more serious note though, this place does have good cheap food, $1.50 tacos, and a little walk-up window that lets you buy tacos anytime you want. But if you do end up going there and getting the ojos, let me know. I'd love to hear how it is. All right, I got a couple more. Anybody been to the Strand before in New York City? 18 miles of books. This is about the Strand. I need a drink first. You know how in commercials, the Keebler elves always seem like they're having a great time because their job rocks, and they're making people happy by making delicious cookies. Next time one of those commercials comes on, look into the elf's eyes, and you will catch fleeting glimpses of pure terror. It's like they know that if they don't convince you of how great their jobs are, there's going to be hell to pay when those cameras turn off. Those elves are shucking and jiving for their lives. Whoever employs those little guys must be kicking the shit out of them on a nightly basis, and I'm pretty sure the same person runs the Strand. The only difference is that the people who work at the Strand are in open rebellion. They want you to know how much they hate their jobs. It's the only plausible conclusion that I could come up with, considering how amazing the Strand is. How could you hate working in one of the best used bookstores in the world? A place famous for having 18 miles of books. Unless they were chaining you to the wall every night and attaching a car battery to your genitals. The only other explanation I can come up with is that the Strand exclusively hires total fucking assholes. I wonder which one's probably true. I'll do one more. This is actually fucking awesome. There's a little place in Greenpoint, Brooklyn called Palace Fried Chicken. It's like a little... You know it?
Yeah, totally.
Fuck yeah. It's like $2 to get the gang of chicken. And this guy Paul, who's kind of like, I called him my Sacagawea when I was researching my New York book, because he was leading me around. So this is about Paul and his relationship with the guy who runs Palace Fried Chicken. Every time Paul walks into Palace Fried Chicken, Abdul, the guy behind the counter, says loudly in his Afghani accent, "Mr. Cheese Fries!" It happens on an almost daily ritual, since Paul eating there is an almost daily occurrence. This is quite understandable because A, it's incredibly cheap, B, it's pretty damn good, and C, Paul lives virtually next door. But it might be more than that. Paul and Abdul seem to have a special relationship. For example, when Paul told Abdul that it had been 6 months since I have push in the bush, the two of them agreed that if Paul got Abdul laid, he'd get free Palace Fried Chicken for the rest of his life. So Paul spent the next month trying to pimp out his female roommate. He began slightly by asking questions like, "So, what do you think about Abdul over there at the Palace Fried Chicken? You know, the guy with the mustache who always stares at you? He's pretty dreamy, right?" And when that didn't work, he tried the direct approach of, "Come on, just fuck him once. We're talking about free Palace Fried Chicken for the rest of our lives." Needless to say, she moved out shortly afterwards. She did. Another time, Abdul asked Paul to look at a website for him to help him figure out why he wasn't allowed to go back to Afghanistan to visit his family. So Paul took the information, went home, checked out the website, and entered the ID number that Abdul had given him. Apparently Abdul wasn't allowed to go back to his home country because our government was concerned for his reasons wanting to visit Afghanistan. Luckily though, Paul was able to help Abdul get his ship home okayed by the State Department, because everybody knows it's pretty hard to get some push in the bush if the government thinks you're a terrorist. Girls just don't do that kind of thing. Anyways, that's all for now. I've got some dope stickers for free. They say young, broke, and beautiful at my website, and there's some books in the back if you want to read more of this kind of shit. Thank you.